Kia ora koutou. Welcome everyone, I hope you're all doing well. It is beautiful today. Look at that sky, not a cloud to be seen anywhere. It is an absolutely beautiful early spring afternoon. So I am of course down at my horse paddock, which is like my second home, and I'm going to be doing some wild harvesting. And I thought I would just show you a couple of things that I'm getting, and then once I have everything dried out that I want, I thought I would do a bit of a show and tell and talk a little bit about each herb and what I use them for, and metaphysical properties, magical uses, all that kind of thing, because I think it's worthwhile doing that instead of just saying this is what I'm harvesting today, and then not actually talk about what you use the plant for. So yes, that's what we're doing. That's what's going to happen. Oh God, it's gorgeous. I'm in my element. There's a lovely view of the shit pile. Anyway, speaking of the poo pile, the best stinging nettles grow around the poo pile. I already have some of this dried out at home, but I am going to be getting some more because I do use nettles a lot. Look at that beautiful patch. That's perfect harvesting quality, so I will be getting some of that, and there's quite a lot of it in here. It's all over the show and over there. Also, I'm not actually going to be harvesting any of this because I have enough, I think. Oh, maybe I'll get a little bit. We'll see. This is horehound, and that is a very worthwhile herb to have on hand for house protection workings. Some lovely clover growing in amongst here as well. Look at the leaf size on that one. There's lots of horehound down here, it's heaps. There's another patch over here. It's all over there as well, so okay, I will carry on. Look at this. It's quite funny actually, because you brush all the loose hair off, and then the birds come and pick up all the loose hair to line their nest with. It's quite cute. Quite often I'll get massive clumps of it and sort of stick it in the fence, in the wire fence, and the birds will come along and get it. She's very hairy. Oh God, this stuff gets everywhere. Gets everywhere. This is all Cleavers. I'm going to get some more of this. I have a small amount at home drying, but I am going to get some more. This has the rather unfortunate name in New Zealand of being called Sticky Willy. I don't know if it's called that in other parts of the world, but that's what everyone has always called it here. Sticky Willy. I just I'm very, very childish. That just cracks me up. Lovely lot of English ivy. One of my favourites, so that's on the cards for harvesting. And eucalyptus. This is the eucalyptus tree that I always harvest from. It's up the back of the property, actually in my friend's horse paddock, but that's all cool. It has the best. It has the best leaves, and it has really big leaves too, and lots of loose bark, like it sort of shreds bark, so that's always nice to have as well. So yeah, look at the green on the leaves. Oh, it's beautiful. Okay, I'm going to get home and have a cup of tea because I've been at work and I am in desperate need of a cup of tea, and I will see you back soon. Hello there. Right, let's crack on with showing some of these herbs. Now, this is the second time I've tried to film this because I screwed something up the first time, and I want to get this done before my husband gets home, because then that gets annoying with him walking in and out of my witchy room. Is that him? No, he's actually taken the classic car in to get a warrant of fitness, so... Why am I talking? Why am I waffling and telling you useless information? I don't know. Anyway, I had a whole bunch of information and books all nicely laid out. I was quite organised and I've screwed it all up. So I'm friggin' hopeless. I'm such an earhead and a ditz. I really am. Anyway, I'm not going to show you absolutely everything that I have been wild harvesting of late because we'll be here till Christmas. So let's just focus on a few. And the first one is good old nettles. Lovely. I love the smell of dried nettles. They're so earthy and sort of, I don't know, like a bit musty, and I just love it. Right, so I think if you can have one protective herb in your herbal cabinet, it should be nettles. If that's all you can have, I would recommend nettles for various reasons. One is nettles is very easy to identify. You know yourself. If you put your hand in a fresh patch of stinging nettles, it hurts like hell. And I come out in blisters. If you are into wild harvesting, then nettles is one plant that is it's quite easy to identify. So it's readily available. Pagan stores generally always have nettles because it is so readily available. And it's very good at protecting itself. Again, you know, if you put your hand in a patch of fresh nettles. I can't handle it without gloves. The fresh stuff, dried, is different. But fresh nettles, I need to wear my thick gardening gloves. So it's great for self-protection. It's absolutely brilliant, and that is what I use it for. Maintenance protection work, the sort of thing that you do every month to, you know, to tighten things up and to... you know, to keep that protective sort of armour and shell around you. I think nettles is brilliant. You can also use it in protection of home as well, protection of pets, all manner of protection work, but it is especially good, in my opinion, for protection of self. Now, I was going to talk about all the sort of planetary associations and deities and all that kind of thing, but honestly, the last video was over half an hour long, and no one wants to hear me talk for that long, I'm sure, so we're just going to move through these quite quickly. So that is nettles. One of my favourites, one that I always have on hand. Next, we have beautiful ivy, beautiful English ivy. Ivy is a very tenacious vine. It's also got a destructive element, in my personal opinion. It has absolutely destroyed my fence, which is why we've had to replace a large portion of the fence and still have more to do. It was literally holding the fence together. It was growing on the neighbour's side, and when he decided that he had had enough of the ivy and killed it, sprayed it, and then started tearing it off, half the fence came with it. So, to me, has a bit of a destructive element to it as well. It's got really, really long associations. It's connected to holly as well. For me, I have a quite a deep connection with ivy. To me, I find it quite wild. I get a wild energy from it. It anchors me to my spirituality. Every time even looking at it, I feel that connection to nature, and I feel that connection to my path. It's really hard to explain. But certainly over the last wee while, it's become one of those plants that I have formed a real bond with. I've always loved working with it, but just lately that's really strengthened. So it's really good for protection as well. Personally, I think that you could use it in binding work also, given the nature and how it grows. Money work. That sort of thing. So that's ivy, and it has beautiful heart-shaped leaves. Look at that. Love work. Gorgeous stuff. Next is eucalyptus. I have some beautiful dry leaf. I also have some bark. And I need to get a bigger jar because it's not all going to fit. Let me just sniff this for a minute. Lord, it's beautiful. The smell of freshly dried eucalyptus is divine. I'm very lucky in the fact that I have access to as much eucalyptus as I could ever need or want. And it's great for purification, and it's great for cleansing. I make a lovely little incense, a loose incense, that I like to use when I'm cleansing my cards, when I'm cleansing my witchy room, things like that. And eucalyptus features in it quite heavily. I've yet to try this, but I know that you can harvest, which is I think the point that I was actually going to make before and then got sidetracked because I have access to it, fresh. You can hang a branch of it in your shower and it can help with colds and clearing out sinuses. I've yet to try that, but I have heard that from a lot of herbal experts, so I'm going to do that because I have sinus all the friggin' time, and at the moment it's especially bad. So I have used eucalyptus for many years, and look at the size of that leaf there. Isn't that gorgeous? We're lucky over here because we can grow things like that. It's not a native to New Zealand. This would have come from Australia, no doubt, but still, I'm very thankful for it. Right, where do we get up to? Next is white horehound. This is associated with the god Horus, which is actually how it got its name. I probably should read associations, but I have got a funny feeling. Let me just quickly find it in Cunningham's book at least. It's one of the ones that I've taken my page marker out. Here we go, right. So it's known by a few different names. Bull's blood, even of the star, soldier's tea, seed of horns. My foot's going to sleep. It's not known as my foot's going to sleep. I think that's my husband. Anyway, we'll crack on. Gender is masculine. Planet Mercury. Element is air. Deity Horus. Protection, mental powers, exorcism, and healing. Burn to Horus, the ancient Egyptian god after which the plant was named. Used in protection sachets, carried to guard against sorcery and fascination. I think it is absolutely brilliant as a protection plant of the home. It's a bit of a thing going on here, as you might see as we go on, but that is what I use it for, is for house protection magic. And you can do your own research into it. Now, I will be back in a minute. I just have to take care of something. Okay, I am back. Sorry about that. Not that there's actually, a break in this video because I'm just editing it all together. But I just wanted to have a quick chat to my hubby about the car. And it passed its warrant of fitness. When your car's as old as ours, we've got a classic Mustang, which is it's a 1967. Sometimes you do worry when it goes through for its warrant of fitness that it's going to pass, but it does, and it generally always does. But you sort of think, oh God, is it going to cost like more money to fix? But no, it's all good. Anyway, so here we have Cleavers. Now, I have never worked with Cleavers before, and I'm not entirely sure why I felt so drawn to work with them, but I have been. It's a plant that I've always overlooked as just being a bit of a pain in the ass as a weed, because it clings to everything. It clings to other plants and it clings to you when you're trying to get it out of the garden. But I've just been noticing it over the last wee while, and I thought, I'm going to look into this plant and do a little bit of research. So I have harvested some, and let me tell you, taking the leaf off the stem was a tedious experience, so I don't have a lot of it. I am going to be harvesting more though. But it's certainly a sticky little bugger. So I didn't find any information in Paul Beryl's the Herbal Compendium about it, but in Cunningham's book I found a very small amount. Its gender is feminine, its planet is Saturn. Element is fire, powers, relationship, commitment, protection, and tenacity. Magical uses: Cleavers cling or cleave to fabrics. This can be used in binding spells. Now, absolutely, I can see why you would use it in binding work. However, I am called to use this in money work. Now, the reason why is because it clings to anything. and it doesn't want to let go of anything. You really have to peel it off. And for money work, where you need your money to stay with you, I think it would be absolutely brilliant for that. And also you can apply it to other areas of your life, such as relationships, whether it be a friendship or a romantic relationship that you have with, you know, your significant other, and you want that, you know, to stay with you. Absolutely brilliant for that. And I think it's probably overlooked in those sorts of areas. I've not seen that mentioned anywhere. That, I mean, admittedly I haven't, you know, spent hours on end trolling the internet looking for information, but that's what I get from it, is money work. And I think it's going to become a staple in my herbal cabinet. I love the fact that it's so easily accessible as well. I mean, it's just, you know, it grows everywhere. I've got it even in my garden. I normally, you know, pull mounds of it out and chuck it in the compost. So yeah, fantastic. So I'm pleased that I've discovered it. Well, not discovered it, I'm pleased that I'm going to give it a chance. Right. The last little plant, technically a flower, that I'm going to show you is this little beauty. And this is Gorse, also known as furze. I think that's how you pronounce it. And I have to tell you, the flowers smell gorgeous. They've got a really light sort of honey vanilla type scent. Now, Gorse is, again, another plant that I've never worked with, and I have felt really called lately to work with it. I've always viewed it as an absolute pest. Now, it's an introduced plant to New Zealand, and farmers hate it because it has spread all over the place, and they have a really hard time eradicating it. It's used as a natural fencing for stock, and I presume that's why it was brought over here when New Zealand was colonised, and we were turned into, you know, respectable people, not a bunch of savages. Sorry. Anyway, so it's used to, you know, protect what is within, you know, to keep animals safe from predators and to keep them from wandering off. And absolutely, I mean, I harvested the small amount of flowers from one of the lanes around where I graze my horses. We have a little bit of it down there, not a huge amount, but it's all up the side of the road. It's absolutely everywhere. And I've always overlooked it, but I have felt really called to work with it. Now, I'm not actually going to be referring to my books for this. I'm going to be referring to islandcalling.com with regards to Gorse, because it is, now I don't even know if I'm pronouncing this properly, but it is the 17th letter of the Ogham alphabet. Ogham, Ogham, again, I don't exactly know. I'm really bad with Gaelic, so I've probably butchered it. Equates to the English letter O, O-N-N, is the Ogham pronunciation. Right. Gorse is often associated with love and fertility. It was for this reason that a sprig of gorse was traditionally added to a bride's bouquet, and gorse torches were ritually burned around livestock to protect against sterility. However, one should never give gorse flowers to another as a gift, for it is unlucky for both the giver and the receiver. Gorse wood was used as a very effective tinder. It has a high oil content, which means it burns at a similar temperature to charcoal. The ashes of burnt gorse were high in alkali and used to make soap when mixed with animal fats. Okay, they used it to make lye. Celtic tradition, gorse was one of the sacred woods burnt on the Beltane bonfires, probably the one that got them started. It was a shrub associated with the spring equinox and the Celtic god of light, Lugh, doubtlessly because of the ever-blooming vibrant yellow flowers. In Brittany, the Celtic summer festival of, well, it's Lunasa, but they've spell that differently, named after the god, was known as the Festival of Golden Gorse. It's used in wine and whiskey. So I know on other things that I'd read on it that there were associations with bees because there's, you know, when it's flowering, there's typically nothing else flowering. Oh, sorry, I have to move. I'm sitting on my feet and my feet have gone numb. There's nothing else flowering at the time, like in early spring, so it provides a lot of food for bees. Symbol of love and fertility. For me, anyway, it'll be used in protection. That's kind of the feeling, the initial energy that I'm getting off it is protection work, because it is used, you know, as a protective fencing for animals. I have also read that it is good for people to use if they're caretakers of animals, and I am. I have a lot of animals, and, well, I have 3 cats and a pony. The pony is naughty, and the pony makes up for other animals because she takes so much energy because she's a little shite. Anyway, so yeah, it's a good herb for people that are caretakers of animals to work with. I think that, again, it is good for house protection work. It protects what is within, and again, that's what I'm going to be using it for. So I think we'll just actually leave the video here. My battery's just about going flat anyway. It's flashing at me, so yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching. Sorry this was a little bit rambly, but it's me, so, you know, what else can you expect? Anyway, I will catch you guys later. I hope you're all well. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon. Bye.